Hello and welcome to RoyalDarKnight's Haven, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the skill build that's been floating around and everyone is interested in, and that's this build with Empress International and the Waveform Holster. So let's get into the build quick. Guys, since I'm not a hardcore skill build player, that's why I don't have the exact perfect pieces, but this build hits like a truck. So now let's get into the build, and I'm using a three-piece Empress International. One is the mask, there you go, the holster, the gloves, and the knee pads. The holster is the waveform, and definitely because of its talent, where you get 30% weapon damage swapping between your main both skills. So that's a beast to have. And if you're using let's say a turret or a drone like I'm using in this build right now, then the talent for your chest piece should be Kinetic Momentum rather than Glass Canon. So Kinetic Momentum gives you more weapon damage because it's, let's say, it stacks on as and if you're using something like let's say Seeker Mines, then I would definitely tell you to use a Glass Cannon because that's more beneficial, because you need stacks, alright? And the only way to get stacks is if you're either putting out your skill and it stays there for long, or you're not just throwing it immediately. So given that's the case, so it's, if you're using turret or any other stationary skills, then Kinetic Momentum. If not, then go for Glass Cannon. So it's a Wyvern chest piece that I'm using with the force multiplier. This is the best I've got, but I would definitely love to have something with skill haste on it, but since it's not, it's not. So a force multiplier that comes with a perfect combined arms. Shooting gives you extra skill damage. If you're not interested in using this and you're someone who likes to stay even more undercover and not even shoot more often than not, then just use the backpack with tech support. Yeah, with something with tech support, but I don't have a good piece. It needs to be on a skill, but yeah. So using tech support could also be good. Otherwise, just use perfect command arms. And as far as my weapons are concerned, you have two choices for this one. Either use Harmony or go for a test subject because they are nearly the same. Harmony is a rifle while test subject is an AR. And then the other weapon that I'm using is the capacitor. And since you all know that you get the stacks in even in this one, and it gets capped at 40, and you get like 1.5% skill damage for each stack. So that's like 60% weapon damage, but you should be able to land all your shots in, and then it's gonna get in. But if you really do land all your shots in and it works, then you're getting like 60% weapon damage, so that's even humongous if it works proper. So let's go for a small demo. Let me put it on. There we go. I'll put it in close. Since the waveform skill is changing, you can see that DPS is dropping per bullet. And that too is without me getting my Harmony activated. Let me just go over here and get this one up. Alright. You can see now with the waveform switching over to the turret, it's doing 180. Now let me just shoot the target over there, and you are getting 264. That is because of our beloved InSync. So it jumps from 180 to 264. Now I'll just show you how the drone does on the damage wise, and I'll just give a few shots over here. Since they're switching, I'll have to wait. And keep a look at the turret. 180 odd. And let me put this one on. That's 264 with yeah, perfectly in sync. Alright. Now let me just give full load in here. See capacitor load in. Should have capacitor stacks going on, and you can see it went to 285 before it started dropping. See, 285. So that's how hard your turret is hitting. That's with capacitor on, but if it's not capacitor, then that's that. And the reason is the difference is not too much is because 264 you're getting with perfectly in sync, because you're getting around 40% weapon damage over there, but when you switch to capacitor you're getting 60, so that's only like 20% boost, so that's why it's going to 184. But still you can see these skills are hitting massively hard compared to what they normally do. And if I put Glass Canon on, it's better I'll just show you, you guys can understand why I meant this.
Always good to see you, Agent.
Okay, let's switch. Glass Canon. I know many people would be talking about the Memento backpack, but let's be honest, right now there is a bug going on which is giving Memento backpack a lot of boost, but once the bug gets fixed, what are you gonna do? Just go around and and pick up those things, the drops all around? I don't think it's a viable option with Memento being there. But for now, with the bug that's there, people might use it, and it might sound more powerful, but nope. Going forward, I don't see it in use much. Alright, let me put the turret back in. I'll just put that on. Can you get this, please? Yep. You guys remember we did 180 without anything active, and this is Glass Canon now, switched from Kinetic Momentum, and it's only doing 173 compared to 180. So that's like nearly 7k or 6 point something to be more precise. That's the amount of difference that you're getting per bullet in differentiation. And let me just show you guys with when this active. Oh, switch to drone, so you guys can just give it a second. Switch. Alright, since it's back up, I'll just use this. So 284, but now it's only 268. Now let's just stack this up. See, only the capacitor mixing it with the Glass Canon can take the damage output up. That means you have to be continuously shooting it out, and it can at the max take it up to like 306 with all 60 stacks in, because the multiplicative damage count works. Let me put this back in. Why isn't my kinetic? Oh, sorry, I forgot. I don't have the kinetic. I have the glass cannon. So there you go. Glass cannon's benefit works out only and only when you're using other skills in. I mean other talents in, like either the capacitor's hidden talent or the test subject or harmony's hidden talent that is in sync. So if you're using talents like those, then glass cannon's talent comes in and it multiplies the damage output, and that's when you can see a large amount of differences in the whole setup. But if not for that, there is, let's say, if you're not using any of these, then I would still say use kinetic momentum because you can just stay in cover and do more damage. But if not, then use glass cannon. But the only problem with glass cannon is that you will be taking in 50% more damage in compared to using kinetic momentum where you don't. So kinetic momentum and glass cannon is a big debate. It depends also on playstyles as well. So if you're someone who likes to just shoot, move and gun up through and keep pushing up forward, I would just say use kinetic momentum a bit more, because that way you're taking less damage in. But if you're someone who's more strategic and can move in a proper way, then avoiding damage, then just go for glass cannon. If you're using weapons such as the capacitor and or the talent like perfectly in sync, then you're gonna get more damage output compared to kinetic momentum. So it's always up for debate. It's always on your personal choice as to how you want it to be. So there might be people or streamers just saying use either this or that, but as I've just shown you, kinetic momentum works if what do you say, if you're not into shooting much more and like to take cover and like to take lesser damage compared to glass cannon where you are taking like 50% more damage for just like 25% output increase. But what you're not taking into consideration is that 25% output increase again multiplies up with your talent of your weapon that you're using. Might be capacitor or even your perfectly in sync from harmony or test subject. So if that's the case, then your so-called output can go much higher, and that's why it's preferable to use glass cannon in cases where you're sure that you're not going to be in the line of fire. But if you want a bit of a safer output, then it's kinetic. So, and just a reminder, I'm using tactician here, and that gives you like 10% more skill damage. And there's another reason why I'm using it, because of our weapon capacitor, because the capacitor's talent says at the last, for each skill tier that I have, I get 7.5% more weapon damage. And since I already have a 6-pack on my gear, I'm getting +1 from what do you say, from my tactician. So that's like 7 times. So that's why the multiplicative goes up by 7 into 7.5 times over there. So you guys can just say that's close to like wearing three and a half pieces of red. So it's a good talent to have. It's a great talent, and also it kind of gives you the weapon damage that you kind of end up missing, and that's why capacitor is a great weapon to have while running a skill build, because it gives you the damage output that you're losing, at least not as much as equal to a red build, but it gives you more damage output. So that's it, guys. Please leave a like, and if you have any other comments to put in through, suggestions and stuff like that, please drop them in so that I can take it into account and make any changes if it has to be done. And please subscribe to the channel and support it to grow up. Thank you and peace out.